Look what we found. We came to see the baby hippo, and there's a leopard sitting watching the baby hippo. It's up on the tree. I don't know who it is. I think it's Kuchava. Maybe not. Maybe it's Tamba. I can't see nicely. All I've seen is the tail. And who are you? Is it Hosana? Oh, hello, boy. It is you. So Hosana, trust him to be messing around with baby hippos. Boy, you can't do that with baby hippos. No, hippos are not for you yet. You are too small to be playing around with a baby hippo. But there we go. He's going to come and drink. Now, I'm just going to try and get in front of him so that we can get his kind of face as he's drinking. He should be absolutely beautiful when he kind of gets around the side. But that's amazing. So from one boy to another, Tumba was here a few days ago, and now, well, we've got our other little male that's also been around. So the boys are absolutely spoiling us these days. We're getting the most ridiculous sightings of both of them, and he has found himself the perfect place to have a little drink. He's still itching like crazy, though, which is a bit of a kind of thing. Every time I see him, I see he's kind of itching. You see, look how he's watching that baby hippo. He's just checking it out just to see what's going to go on. Like I say, you can't eat that. Is it Hosana? Yes, it is Hosana. Looks like him. So I don't know what he's doing up the tree looking at that baby hippo. He's got no chance whatsoever. With Mom around, he's going to have a really tough time of it. Now, the baby hippo obviously doesn't probably realize what danger it's in at all. Now, Hosana also probably thinks that this is something he can go after. It's small, but he probably has never crossed a female hippo when she's upset and trying to protect her calf. The thing is, for us, this is not ideal, because if she comes charging out, we don't really have anywhere to go either, and she'll just turn her attention on whatever she feels is threatening her. So I'm hoping that we're not going to get a situation where she's going to chase after us. Shame boy, are you scratching a lot? Doesn't look comfortable. Every time I've seen him in the last month, he's been scratching. I wonder if maybe he's just got a little bit of kind of fleas, or maybe even a little bit of mange that starts. It does happen from time to time, and it's that dry season period, so you might get it, but it's just around their one ear. So he's on his right ear that it's a little on the itchy side, and he's scratching a little bit, but that'll be okay. As long as he keeps grooming himself like this, looking after himself, feeding, he's going to be absolutely fine. But what a surprise that was, and what a kind of worthwhile treat just to come behind this damn wall. Now, I always say that behind this damn wall, leopards love it, and we've been behind here now 3 times in 3 days, and we've had leopard twice in those 3 times. So it's absolutely amazing how much the leopards love this section. Now, before we kind of get into Hosana properly, there's 2 things I want to show us quickly. First is the fish eagle right on top. I don't know if it's got something in its talons. It looks like there might be something, or is it just the tree? No, it's just the tree, but it looks really beautiful in that golden light. So it's watching the leopard's watching the baby hippo. So it's just a whole bunch of things all together here. And the other thing that I wanted to show you, because the fish eagle, as beautiful as it is, I don't want to lose Hosana if he starts moving. The other thing is, Senzo, do you see a little white spot in the tree itself? So where the hippo is, just to the right, if you go straight in from where you are now into that sort of area over there, a little bit to your left, a little bit to your left, there it is in that top corner. So you'll see a white spot in the tree in the top corner. Now, that's the first of the foam nests for a tree frog that I have seen as yet. Is it a foam nest or is it a feather? Oh, no, it's a feather. I thought it was a foam nest. It looked just like a foam nest on the tree, but it's a feather, maybe from the black-crowned heron. Now, it seems as though I've been giving Taylor trouble about her eyes all afternoon, but I might need to have a little sort of look at my own as we go on. In all fairness, it's all too exciting for me. I'm too excited to really look properly. And I thought it might be a foam nest, and I was hoping it would be a foam nest, but it seems not to be. So Hosana's just taking it easy. He's just watching the little baby hippo. Baby hippo is playing with Mom and is not really too worried about what's going on. I suppose I wouldn't be worried too if I had a 2-ton Mom with big teeth that was going to protect me from anything that came this way. So I don't think Hosana's got any chance whatsoever. Now, who are you chasing? You can't chase the Egyptian geese as well. That's ridiculous. You must... Hosana, you are another story. I do love these 2 boys. They are both equally comical and equally entertaining. They both love to chase things around and love to be kind of involved in action. And any bird that's flying, Hosana is looking at. Any kind of dove that comes over, Egyptian goose, baby hippo, fish eagle. I think he doesn't actually know where to look at this stage. I think he's a bit kind of perturbed as what's going on and where he needs to kind of focus in order to be able to see what's happening. So Poor boy. It must be tough when you're a young man and you've got lots to kind of look for. Now I'm just going to try and edge forward for Senzo so you can get a little bit more of his face and be able to just kind of see his body a little bit better. There we go, Senzo. I think that might be a little bit better of angle than what we had just now. But how wonderful is this? It's a little oasis, and it's been an absolute treat for us over the last few days. I've so loved the fact that we have signal down in this area. It's been really a rich reward for us coming and checking here the last few days. We've had so many amazing things to witness and show you guys. So what a surprise. Now, Hosana, I wonder if you are going to try your luck any further. At one point, as we arrived, he was in the tree, looked as though he was going to pounce on this baby hippo because the baby hippo was away from the mom. And then I think the mom saw him and kind of reared up, and that's what alerted me to a leopard in the tree. And that's maybe why he's now come back down. It looked like he might pounce on top of this little baby, but I think now he's realized, no, with mom being here, there's no chance for me to be able to do that. But I'm so excited that we managed to find him. It's really cool. So I believe the baby hippo has now been affectionately named Boo because it was found on Halloween, which I quite like. I think that's a great name for our hippo. Hopefully it's not going to be a big male because Boo the big male will not be the best. Now, I suppose actually it's not too bad, particularly if he's a grumpy male. I think it will actually be okay if he's a grumpy guy. But we'll have to kind of watch as we go along. We'll have to find some way of IDing Boo. We'll have to find some sort of marking or pattern or something that gives it away as to what actually how we can identify Boo in the future when he's in the Chitwa Dam with all the others, and we'll be able to know it's him. It's amazing. It's just flopping about and just playing around with mom, and every time it moves around, Hosana watches and kind of looks. Right, we're not going to go anywhere. Well, why would you when we've got leopard, fish eagle, and baby hippos all together? So while we kind of sit here and enjoy the sighting and enjoy the oasis that is behind Chitwa Dam Wall, let's go across to Taylor McCurdy, who seems to be having an absolutely wonderful afternoon, and I'm flabbergasted to hear that she has lion cubs. Hosana, he's up in the tree and he's busy now watching this baby hippo. The hippo moved and it just slightly shifted. Hosana went up into the tree and he's watching now very carefully to see if this baby hippo just moves too far away, maybe he can get a chance to go after it. But he's playing a very, very, very risky game at the moment. If he tries to go anywhere near that baby hippo, this mother is going to go crazy and is not going to be impressed with him at all. So he needs to be a little careful about what he's doing. And I can see she's kind of eyeing him out, the mother. She's just watching him and he's kind of looking and seeing what is he up to and why is he in the tree. So she's right below where he is, not too far away, but far enough that it can't cause any damage. There she is, and the little baby Boo is flopping around in the little area over there. You can see the ripples and the movement. And so Hosana's kind of trying to figure out a way. How do I get close to this without mom getting hold of me? And as long as he's around, mom is never going to let that little one out of her sight. It's absolutely incredible to watch this, though. I didn't think we would see a leopard doing this and a leopard in this particular section. It really is phenomenal to see. I mean, when have we ever seen a leopard hunting a baby hippo? Absolutely awesome. Now, I do need to get hold of the rest of the guides and try and tell them where I am, because otherwise they're going to shout at me if they see me with a leopard. Not that anyone can see me. Stations, everyone can copy me. I've got Hosana, my daughter Ingwe, behind Chitwa Dam Wall. He's busy hunting this baby hippo. If he wants to respond, I'm going to be off the radio. There's space for two. And the radio goes crazy. So it's been a quiet afternoon, and now sounds I can already hear 5 guys fighting with each other to kind of get into the sighting. They're all talking over one another already. But we have to call it in because, like I say, we are live and we are out here with a whole bunch of other guys that help us out a lot of the time. And so if somebody watches this later that we've hidden this away, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. And ultimately, we don't want to be like that. We want to be able to allow everybody a chance to witness something as special as this. Now, you see, he's going forward again because the little baby has crept away from mom slightly. It's come more towards the shore area, and she's going to have to be very, very careful. If that little one comes onto land, he's definitely going to try and go after it. The thing is, mom will come barreling after Hosana straight away. And like I say, if that happens, we need to be very smart about what we're doing, because we're on a little island here, and there will be no way for us to get out of the way if a hippo comes. So when hippos are being hunted, to be very, 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 very careful and make sure that you've got somewhere that you can maneuver. And so I just want to see which way this little baby goes. If the baby starts to come towards land on our side, I'm going to go around the other side of the water because I don't want to be involved in anything to do with an angry mother hippo when her baby's being harassed by a leopard, that's for sure. The thing is, though, is the baby's instinct is to stay in water. Mom's instinct will be to just keep that baby right next to her, herd the baby into the middle of this little pan, make sure that this leopard can't get anywhere near it. That's not to say that Hosana's not going to try. Hosana's most certainly going to try his luck and try and get into that area and try and have a little look and see if he can get to the baby. But I don't think he's got any chance, to be honest. And he is biting off a lot more than he can chew, and he might learn a very valuable lesson in the next little bit if he stays where he is right now, because that's going to not be very pleasant. If he stays there, he's going to get himself into a lot of trouble if that hippo sees him and decides that she's had enough of him being in the area. But I wonder if maybe we just reposition here, Senzo, just so that maybe we can see the baby hippo and the mother as well as the leopard. Let's just try, as much as it's a nice view of Hosana, let's just try and get Senzo into a position where he can at least see both. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I'm going to try. Just see that there is maybe a gap through this direction. Senzo, you just tell me when you have a sort of sighting of both Hosana and the mother with the little one. I don't want to get too close. Is that okay? So Hosana, you can see, is on the right, mom and baby on the left. Now, whether or not he's going to stay there and kind of move along and go to the other bank, I'm not quite sure, but it's quite close. You can see she's got not really much space to work with, but she's watching that leopard. She knows for sure there's a leopard here. She knows there's a predator around. She's very, very aware of that, and she will make sure that that little leopard doesn't go anywhere near her tiny baby. Well, come on, Boo, come say hello. Hello, little cute thing. How cute is that little one? That's so, so sweet. You can see it's quite brave. It's coming to say hello. Are you coming to check what's going on? Look how small it is in comparison to the head of that adult hippo. It is absolutely tiny. Look at the neck sizes between the two. I reckon if you put that hippo sort of 3 in a row, it would be the same thickness as its mom's neck. Oh, a little bouncing around, ears all over the show. And it's no wonder that Hosana is having a look. Velma, you're wondering if Mother Hippo will go out and feed already, or would she be waiting a few days until Boo is a little bit older and stronger? No, she'll get out and feed, but not far. She'll just feed right here in this little area. There's lots of little grasses close by and on this little wetland that she can chomp away at, and so that's what she'll feed off, and she'll make sure that Boo is very close to her, and as soon as there's a problem, she can just dash into the water. It's not even, a meter or two from the water's edge, and so she'll do that no problem. She won't mind having a little feed close by. Now, Hosana, you can see, he's now creeping around towards the other side. So he's now coming down the tree, and he's going to cross the branch over the little oasis. Hosana, be careful. That branch is not very stable. But the little baby hippos have really got not. Proud Cat Mama, you want to know if leopards are good swimmers. Well, leopards don't really like water, but they will be able to swim, and they will be able to cross a little water like this. They certainly don't like it, though. They know that there's crocodiles, there's various other predators that might be around. There's also, risk of hippos and other things. And so you have a situation where these guys will try and avoid swimming at all costs. That's not to say, though, that it doesn't happen. Leopards do swim from time to time. I've seen them crossing a few rivers, but they'll try and avoid it as much as possible. They prefer rather to try and cross water where they can stand and not where they actually have to swim itself. But now, Hosana, where are you going? You're getting yourself into a major mess at the moment. I'm going to just go forward a little bit because he seems as though he's going to drop down. I wonder if there's maybe chicks in here as well, because he seems as though he's watching for chicks as well in the grass. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's going to give us a really big leap. Right, Senzo, be ready, because I think he's going to leap over this water. It's going to be so cool if he does leap. Come on. Over you go. Let's see if he does. It seems like he might just know. Oh, he fell. Don't fall. Hosana, you're going to get yourself very wet and cause Mom Hippo to get very angry. Oh, there he goes in the water. That's a cat with very wet paws and a very angry hippo behind him. I think there must be eggs here because he's looking. I think this is where the night herons have been nesting, and because that's where the night heron came out yesterday afternoon. And so I think that's where you can see the hippo is now getting upset. She's charging in. There's bow waves coming. It's all happening at the moment. So it really is quite amazing. He's busy trying to get there, but he's making a bit of a meal of it. Sorry, Hosana, I don't mean to laugh at you, boy, but you really aren't doing it the right way. You're getting your paws all wet, which a leopard absolutely hates. I wouldn't be surprised there's a bit of shaking of the paws at some point as he tries to kind of get off here and get back to ground where he can groom off that water and get himself a little bit on the drier side. So there's a big stretch and a yawn. Have you decided this is not for you, Hosana? He is such a character. Him and Tamba, the two of them together are both characters. They both have their own way about them, and I really do enjoy watching the two of them go about their business. They are highly entertaining, the two of them, and they really do get themselves into all kinds of odd places. Right, let's go back again just so that we can give these guys a chance to get in here, because they're going to come behind us and they can then park on that side, and we'll be able to at least have a view of both Hosana and, oh sorry Hosana, sorry Boy, of Hosana and the hippo. But I think Hosana's decided no more hippo for him. Or is he going to? No, he's going to lie down over there. So I think he's in a state where he's kind of got a hippo on one side, a vehicle on the other, and he's a little bit kind of, I don't know where I actually want to lie at this stage and move around. So it's pretty incredible to watch him as he hunts this little baby hippo and kind of tries to work it out. You can see, like I said, he'll lie down once he falls in the water like he did. He's going to lie down now and try and groom himself, get himself nice and clean, get all that water that he's got on his coat after falling in the water, and then try and just kind of get himself into a bit better place and a bit better condition. Right, well, we've got one spotty cat down here in South Africa who is a little bit wet and is just going to get himself into better condition and clean himself up a little bit. But Scotty D, all the way in the Masai Mara, is still with his spotty cats, albeit a lot sleeker and a lot more slim than Hosana. And I believe that those little spotted cats are starting to get going and starting to move around, and potentially they're going to carry on the hunting for the evening. Well, Scotty Steam Cat Dyson still sitting with our steamy cat in the form of Hosana. He's busy grooming himself. Like I said, as soon as they get wet like this, they hate it. So they'll try and get themselves nice and clean again, get rid of all the water, make sure that the paws are all cleaned off, make sure the coat is in good condition. Cats don't like to be wet. And we were talking about earlier, do they like to swim or can they swim? So the answer was right there. As soon as he fell in the water, out, back towards the bank, and then he can just kind of groom himself out and get rid of any of that water that's actually on him. And you see it when they walk through wet grass as well. They often shake their paws off, trying to get drops of water off them. So not a huge fan at all. The hippo mom and the baby have drifted away a little bit, so I don't think he's going to hunt them anymore. I think he's just going to start resting for a while. You might find that anything else that comes around here, he might start chasing, but I think the hippo hunting is finished for the evening. So Tula Ann, who's 5 years old, Tula Ann, don't worry. I promise that Hosana won't get hurt. He's, as much as he's going to be trying to chase that hippo, I think he's realized that mommy hippo is just too big and strong, and that him going there is not going to be a good idea. So don't worry, Hosana is going to be okay. He'll be very, very fast and very agile, and he'll be able to get away from that hippo. So if the hippo charges him, I can't really get in the way, because the hippo, unfortunately, Tula Ann, will probably eat me. And I must be honest, I like to be alive and I like being out here, and hopefully you like to see me on the screen, because if I move, well, if I get in between them, I might not be able to be on the screen anymore and show you all these wonderful things. And Hosana, he's quick and fast. He'll be able to go up into a tree away from the hippo, so everything will be okay. Don't worry, Tula Ann, everything is fine. And I want to know, Tula Ann, how was your Halloween? Did you have fun, and how was your costumes? Did everyone like the fact that you were dressed as Hosana, because I remember yesterday you were dressed as Hosana and that your brother Tucker went as Tandi. So you need to tell me how it all went and if everybody liked your costumes. I'm sure they did, and I'm sure you looked wonderful. So very good that you at least dressed up, and I'm glad that you dressed up as leopard, and I'm glad that we can show you your favorite leopard. I think this is your favorite leopard, if I remember correctly, today. So, but look how he spreads his toes as well, just to get in between. I'm sure there's bits of algae and all kinds of nonsense that got in between his toes once he fell in. So just trying to get rid of all of that. But otherwise, he looks great. He's looking in really good condition. What surprises me is just how he got here, because we've checked around the southern boundary a lot. We've tracked his tracks all around Mulawati, and he was seen a few nights ago, and no tracks then crossing south. But somehow he's managed to get to Chitwa without anybody really picking up on anything. He must have crossed in an area where there was really quite hard soil, and he's ended up now behind the dam wall. It's amazing, though, that it's been Tamba 2 days ago, Hosana now, and we've got a situation where we've got two male leopards vying for the same area all the time. It seems as though the two of them really are enjoying this particular section, and at some stage there's going to be some sort of competition. They keep following each other around, though. We've had them together at Twin Dams, we've had them together in the Mulawati, they keep kind of being seen together on Little Gowrie, and now even at Chitwa they're kind of hanging around the same section. In fact, we've even seen them at Chitwa together. So at some point there's going to be a little altercation between the two of them, and they're going to have to set some boundaries. But wouldn't it be epic if they formed the first male coalition? That would be quite fun. I reckon the two of them would be absolute beasts and be the perfect two males to be a coalition. I think they would be wonderful together. Of course, it's not going to happen, but I was just saying, I think it would be a really cool thing to see. The nice thing for Hosana, though, where he is now, is that he's definitely going to have an opportunity to hunt quite a lot around Chitwa Dam. There's a lot that comes down here at night, particularly in this back section, a lot of nyala, bushbuck, and kudu, and so he's going to have really good opportunities to hunt, and even things like Egyptian geese. So I hope also that he stays away from our little plovers and doesn't go towards them, because we don't want them to disappear. Right. Hosana, he's going to groom, he's going to carry on. Hopefully he'll settle down and not go after this little baby hippo once again. And so while we watch him grooming himself and checking out the hippo and hopefully moving on from this area, let's go back across to Taylor Mack, who I wonder where she's off to and what she's busy doing. I know she's had a lion-filled afternoon, and I wonder if there's any more treats for her on her way home. I am indeed, Taylor. I'm still sitting with Hosana. There's a couple nyala that have arrived, and so Hosana's just kind of looking around. I don't think he's too interested. It's a big nyala bull that he's seen, so I don't think he's going to really stalk that. It's a bit out of his league, much like a hippopotamus is. So I think for now, it's going to be all about just waiting for other opportunities to arrive and for him to be able to see something a little smaller. At the end of the day, he's not thin, but he could do with a meal, and so I'm pretty sure he will try and chase something tonight. Scrub hares are obviously probably the easiest thing for him to go after, but he'll try duiker, baby nyalas, bushbuck, impalas, all of those kind of things would be on the menu. Even young waterbuck could be potentially a meal for Hosana. And there we go, he's scratching a little bit again. Now, I believe a lot of you are asking when the myth, the man, and the legend, Mr. James R.A. Hendry, is arriving back in Djuma and back in South Africa. Well, he'll be back with us on the 9th. So for all of you that are wondering where James is, he's going to be back at work on the 9th. Steph is the first one to arrive before James. He gets here on the 6th, and then James on the 9th, and then Scott, I think, is towards the end of the month in Djuma. So it's going to be a full house at Djuma. All the boys are going to be together, which it probably only means trouble, but I'm sure it will be entertaining and lots of fun. Senzo, why are you laughing? Eh? Senzo's laughing at me. He thinks that James, Scott, and myself and Steph are trouble together, but I don't know so much. I'm the innocent one. I try to keep all the others in line and make sure that they don't get out of hand. And Kirsty, you agree with Senzo. Kirsty, you're supposed to be on our side. You're supposed to be on the presenter's side, not on Senzo's side. It's not Camops and FC versus presenters is not fair. I feel like Team FC. Oh, really? Okay, fair enough. I suppose we've all got to be in our own team, but I think it'll be fun. I definitely think it's going to be a lot of entertaining days when Scott and James and Steph are here, and I must be honest, I'm looking forward to seeing all three of them back in this area because, well, they're all a wealth of knowledge. They're all really good guys and can learn a lot from them. So working alongside them is always a fun thing, and we always have a good time. And James and Scott are highly entertaining characters. They both make me laugh quite a bit. So I hope that they will be back soon and we'll have some epic times together, and that the sightings will continue when James gets here. Now, I'm going to try and reverse back and try and see if I can keep up with Hosana and not crash into the car in front of me, because that won't be ideal. We don't want to be crashing at all. Philip, you're asking if I think Tamba calls Hosana Hosana. Well, I think probably, I would say that he calls him and I would think that you probably find that he calls Tandi Tani. So Tani is an Afrikaans word for auntie, so I'm sure he calls it Tani Tandi and Hosana for Tamba. But of course, can you see him? Okay, so Senzo can see him. I can't see a thing. I'm sitting here. I'm going to try and get my spotlight out. Senzo, you just tell me when you can shine. This side, behind there. Okay, great. So he's going to come out somewhere here. I think there he comes. Oh, there he's behind the tree. I can see him now. So he's just poking his head out from that area and is going to come past and just moving towards Chitwa camp. I believe he spends a lot of time in the camp. The other night, apparently, he joined the guests for dinner, where he flopped down on the deck and watched all the guests while they ate their 3-course meal at dinner time, and just watched them as though nothing was going on whatsoever. It was apparently quite amazing to see the three of them. Now I'm just going to roll forward, Senzo. Dinner and a show? Yes, so that's what Chitwa's all about, dinner and a show. So hopefully the guests enjoyed it, whichever guests they may be. And I just rolled forward so that the guys behind me could get a chance, because there's not very much space at all. And I think we might, unfortunately, not get another view of him. It's a very sort of steep bank here, and he's just gone down that bank and behind there. But it's been